yeah, let's listen to some phone calls that we've received. We talked a bit briefly about how it's been a while since Chuck has been here recording with us, but last time, or like a year ago or something, Chuck said that he would like people to call in and ask him for advice. So somebody did that on January 20th, 2023. And
oh God, I've been busy. I'm sorry. I have many clients. It's I want to make time for everybody though. So it's better late than never. So yeah.
Well, let's
have a seat, by the way.
Yeah. This is someone soliciting advice from Chuck here from 7 months ago. So hopefully this will still be relevant to your life, caller.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Go ahead.
Hey guys, this is a friend of yours, friend of the show. What's up? So I need some advice from Chuck. Chuck, I've been work from home here in Des Moines since the pandemic started, and headquarters is out in DC. And so basically I just like work from home here, and I am at my apartment like basically 24/7 unless I have somewhere to go, which especially during the winter is not true. What do I do, man? Should I get a new job? I feel like I'm going insane here. All I do is play like frickin' isometric RPGs on my computer and everything else that you do when you have infinite time to yourself at home. So what do I do, man? I'm going crazy. Thanks, Chuck. Bye, guys.
I like the specificity of isometric RPGs.
Yeah, me too. So first of all, thanks for calling. I guess my question is, I wish I had more details here about you. I'd like to know maybe how old you are, that type of thing, which, it's kind of moot at this point. So, you're working from home, you have all this free time, you don't have to go anywhere, you're, playing video games you like all day. Are you asking me for like what game to play next, I guess? Or because this sounds fucking awesome. Like this sounds like a great setup. This is hard for me to sort of relate to personally. I have to get up and like force feed myself and like shit quickly and like get dressed and like fly into my job, and I'm there for however amount of time every single day. So I mean it's hard for me to sort of, I guess, connect with you on a personal level, but I do understand that having this sort of almost infinite free time where you're able to be in a comfortable space, you're able to do what you want sort of when you want to do it. But I see this sort of like you're maybe stuck in this loop of almost not having enough shit in your life. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like gaming owns. Yeah, structureless. Like gaming owns. Sitting at home owns. Doing what you want sort of owns. I've never had a work from home job before, so it's hard for me to, like I said, sort of understand this. But you seem maybe tired of the loop that you're in. You mentioned maybe getting a new job, and I'm curious as to what you think that would solve. When you say get a new job, do you mean like something where you're like going back into the office and you're like interacting with people again? You're potentially, as much as work sucks, you can meet friends at work, or you can meet people that have like a common interest and maybe find some things to do with them. You mentioned, the isometric RPGs. Maybe you like tabletop games. There's plenty of. You live in Des Moines. There's a lot of people in Des Moines. There's maybe groups that you can meet up with to do something like that in person. But I guess I'm kind of confused too, because there was no real exact question. It was more like, what do I do? So like, what do you do in terms of, do I get a new job, or what do I do? Like, are you trying to like make new friends?
I think that's kind of what it was. I think sort of a loneliness. Yeah.
I'm going to assume you're in your maybe mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s, which, as everybody knows, it can be more difficult to make friends as you get older. Mm-hmm. And it gets even harder if you have ended up in this position where you're sort of isolating yourself through work and through your hobbies. So I guess I want to kind of pitch this to you guys, because you guys have had, during the pandemic, you guys were either working from home like 100%, or you were sort of not having to work and getting to like hang out and like do your thing for a while. So I want to know what you guys think before I continue here.
Well,
go ahead, either one of you.
Yeah. I also work from home, and I also, it was a struggle to adapt to that. Just being literally at the same computer screen for like hours of the day. Like I'd work 8 hours and I would be at the same chair for like another 4 or 5 hours.
Home becomes work. I mean, the space in which you like would sit and hang out and enjoy yourself becomes a job also.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's value in that. I don't know that that's not always feasible for anyone, but more generally, like as far as the loneliness thing, what has helped me in my life is I am like a socially reticent person, and I understand that, like not everyone's like that. Sounds like this person might be kind of like that. And so for me, it was like, I used to say no to things a lot, but like my thing now is like, if I get an opportunity and I'm like nervous about it, just say yes. And it's like almost always better. Like I never expected I would have been on a podcast, let alone one that's been like relatively successful. Yeah. Like I'm not that.
You're on fucking Chapo, dude.
I know. Yeah. Like I'm not that kind of person. I'm not like a self-promoter. But like when you guys approach me and we're like, hey, like we think it'd be fun to do a podcast, and like Chuck, I think you might have chosen me to. Chuck basically is like
the
director of person. Yeah, he's an HR department. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, what's the worst that can happen? I get like fired I get canceled.
Sure. So based off of that,
anyway, just
what's your advice? What's your advice to our caller based off of your own experience?
Just seize opportunities as they come to you. If anyone, like, I mean, all the stuff that you said is good advice too, I think, but I know it's kind of generic, but yeah, I just like if someone shows an interest in something that you have going on, then like I would say try to pursue that, pursue the opportunities as they arise.
Like that. Absolutely. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking about this. I'm trying to think about this from my own perspective. And I often feel like I am drawn to two opposite poles. There's a Justin that just wants to never leave this house, keep the curtains drawn, and play isometric RPGs on this computer. And then there's the Justin who's like a musician trying to play live shows all the time and like trying to like I want attention also.
Right. And you and I are very similar in that way, where like we have like it's a great way to both like recharge and like supercharge your batteries per se.
Yeah.
We need to have like our alone time. We're like doing our thing, what we enjoy alone, but you can't have that be everything, obviously, right?
Yeah, it's a sort of, there's a balance, and like I mean, I think this person, we don't know their full history, but they may have gotten this work from home job as a result of the pandemic, and that was obviously.
They did mention.
Oh, did he say that?
It started during the pandemic. Yeah. So this is, I mean, we got this message in like January? Is that what you said?
January,
so it's been a good 7 months. So they've been doing this for about 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Things have hopefully gotten a bit better in the intervening 7 months for you, but
I would hope so. Yes. Hopefully you're not dead. Hopefully you're hearing this.
Yeah, I mean, that was a mass isolating event for a lot of people.
It was.
And it became difficult to sort of rebuild a social life. But Evan's advice is good. Basically, if somebody asks you to do something, or you just even see like an advertisement for something you might be interested in, maybe, people aren't directly inviting you to things, but you'll probably become aware of events that are happening outside of your apartment that you think you may enjoy. You should force yourself to take opportunities to get out of your comfort zone and
absolutely
try to have fun. Yeah,
absolutely.
With other people.
Said it better myself.
You can have fun alone too, but obviously you don't have a problem with that. You've been doing that, so.
Yep. So it sounds like find the balance. I mean, you know what you like to do when you have time to do something. There's nothing wrong at all with sort of hanging out, doing your thing, gaming. I love it. So a little, I'm going to relate to my own life here. So, when COVID hit, well, I guess when the lockdown started happening, I was heading home from work one afternoon, and I was listening to the local sports, radio show, and they had like a breaking news from ESPN thing about how, oh yeah, the NBA season's canceled, right? And I was like, oh fuck. So like that's always what I remember as like this sort of moment of things are really going to change here in a second. But I also felt this like sort of sinking feeling, without getting too much into what I do for a living, that oh well, what I do is not going to change whatsoever. Like this is like everyone else is going to go over here to this planet, and like I'm going to stay right here. You know what I mean? Like my life is not going to change. It's just going to suck more. Like it's not going to get better. So I'm glad that you guys are here. I mean, you guys are going to be here anyways, but we sort of saw this from both sides. So I think that's why I say to you, like, it sounds like it fucking owns what you're doing right now. Like I would love nothing more than to like get up and like kind of have to like half do my job, like not have to leave my house per se. Like I'm not trying to like I don't know exactly what you do, so I don't mean to sort of what's the word I'm looking for. I don't mean to like diminish what your responsibility may be or like what your work expects of you or whatever. But it's hard for me because like I was sort of like the canary in the mine shaft with COVID. So like I kind of stayed out there and I was like, well, whatever happens to these people, we're kind of use those people as our barometer of like how muddy this water is. We're going to use these guys as our weather vane. Like how fast is the wind blowing? Like how hard is the wind blowing? So I think that, I think it's fantastic advice from both of you guys for this person. I think that, stepping out of your comfort zone is going to be important because it sounds like you've gotten a little too comfortable. Like if I'm going to give you some tough love here, you've gotten very set in what you're doing. And once you get very comfortable in doing something, the more comfortable you are, the harder it is to break that cycle. So I think that if there's things that you're into that aren't, as your example, these isometric RPGs, which are great, by the way. I'm playing Disco Elysium again myself, which isn't isometric, I don't think, because the camera kind of moves a little bit. Is that what it is? Isometric is like a fixed camera, and like you're running around like
it's like false perception of 3D, where perception. It's like
Fallout
like
1 and 2,
Fallout
diagonal.
2. Yeah. Fallout 2 owns. That was So I mean, step outside your comfort zone. If there's maybe something that you've taken a passing interest in that you think could be something that could be a new hobby for you, or maybe you could meet more people through, like. Go to live shows. You like music? Go to a show. From my own life, like my thing was, I was very much sort of just like hanging out at home and not doing anything. And then I found disc golf, and I was like, well, this is fun, and that got me out, and I met all these new people, and I still enjoy all my old hobbies, but I've got this new thing now where I've met these new friends. And I have this new sort of like catalyst in which to meet people and go out and like have a good one, one might say. So, just
with the boys.
With the boys, get out with the boys. Like whatever I mean, just if there's something that seems a little interesting, go for it. Don't if I'm going to be brutally honest here, if you're what you're doing right now, you can keep doing that for the rest of your life. Like you can do that forever. You can work from home forever. You can, play video games forever. And if you're happy doing that, then go ahead. But it sounds like you want a little more. You want to sort of break out of the space that you're in. And the only way that you can do that, I think, is what Justin and Evan are saying is, if there's something that's kind of got this little crack, just fucking go for it, man. Go for it.
Yeah,
I love you. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Yeah. All that. Yeah. And it's hard to dig out of a rut. I've put myself in a bad hole in my 20s that I've recently turned around, and it's tough, but you just got to start making whatever efforts you can to turn it around. It doesn't have to be all at once. It's never you're not going to have there's no like easy epiphanies that you're going to have.
Yeah.
There's a whole world out there, baby. Go out there and get into it. And if you want to play disc golf, hit me up on Twitter. Yeah. I don't know who you are exactly, but you might know who I am. Just follow me, send me a message. You're in Des Moines. Is that what the caller said?
Yeah, they said Des Moines. Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up. I'll take you out. Why not? It could be fun.
All right.
Yeah.
We might
Hey,
get
there you
along.
go.
Yeah.
You sound cool. I mean, fuck. Maybe we
right.
can be pals.
Yeah, we went pretty deep on that one. But I think we should also just say that, the three of us and, our circle of people, I think we have all had these sort of shut-in tendencies, and we sort of been there together, and like the three of us, for most of our relationship together, have been like online friends.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we've been in places like that. So it's possible to sort of broaden your horizons and lift each other out of that hole a little bit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.